Hey everyone, welcome back to English Flow. Have you ever learned all 12 English tenses, but still felt confused about when to actually use them? Don't worry. In this video, I'm going to make all 12 English tenses simple, practical, and easy to remember. No complicated grammar rules, no boring textbook explanations, just real-life English examples that you can actually use. And stay until the end, because I'll give you one simple trick that can help you understand all 12 tenses much faster. Ready? Let's begin. 1. Present simple. First, we have the present simple. We use it for things that happen regularly, facts, habits, and routines. For example, I drink coffee every morning. That's a habit. Or, she works in a hospital. That tells us something about her regular life. Another example, the sun rises in the east. That's a fact. So remember, present simple equals habits, routines, and facts. 2. Present continuous. Now, the present continuous. We use it for something that is happening right now or around the present time. For example, I am watching this video right now. You're doing it at this moment. Or, she is talking to her friend. It's happening now. The basic idea is am, is, are plus verbing. So, I am learning. She is working. They are studying. Simple. 3. Present perfect. Now things get a little more interesting. The present perfect connects the past with the present. For example, I have finished my homework. The action happened in the past, but the result is important now. Another example, she has visited London 3 times. We're talking about her experience up to the present. Remember, have, has, plus past participle. For example, I have eaten. She has finished. They have arrived. For present perfect continuous, now we have the present perfect continuous. This tense is often used when an action started in the past and is still continuing, or has recently stopped with a visible result. For example, I have been studying English for 2 hours. I started 2 hours ago, and I'm still studying. Another example, she has been working all day. The focus is on the duration or ongoing activity. The structure is have, has been plus verbing. Easy enough, right? 5. Past simple. Now let's move into the past. The past simple is used for completed actions in the past. For example, I watched a movie last night. The action is finished. Or, she visited Paris last year. Finished action. Common time expressions include yesterday, last week, last year, 2 days ago. So remember, past simple equals finished action in the past. 6. Past continuous. The past continuous describes something that was happening at a particular moment in the past. For example, I was sleeping when you called me. At that moment, I was already sleeping. Another example, they were having dinner when the lights went out. The dinner was in progress. And another event happened. The structure is was, were, plus verbing. For example, I was working, they were playing. 7. Past perfect. Now here's a very useful one. Past perfect. We use it when we have 2 actions in the past, and we want to show which one happened first. For example, when I arrived at the station, the train had already left. First, the train left. Then, I arrived. So we use had plus past participle. Another example, she had finished dinner before I called her. First she finished dinner, then I called. That's the past perfect. 8. Past perfect continuous. Now let's take that idea one step further. The past perfect continuous focuses on an action that continued for some time before another past event. For example, I had been waiting for an hour when the bus finally arrived. I was waiting for 1 hour, and then the bus arrived. The important idea here is duration before another past event. Structure had been plus verbing. For example, she had been studying for 3 hours before she took a break. 9. Future simple. Now let's talk about the future. The future simple is usually formed with will. We use it for predictions, decisions, promises, and future actions. For example, I will call you tomorrow. Or, I think it will rain tonight. Or, don't worry, I will help you. That last example is a decision or promise. So, will plus base verb. I will go, she will call. They will come. 10. Future continuous. The future continuous describes something that will be happening at a particular time in the future. For example, tomorrow at 8 p.m., I will be watching a movie. At 8 p.m., the action will be in progress. Another example, this time next week, I will be traveling. So remember, will be plus verbing. It describes an action that will be in progress in the future. 11. Future perfect. Now we have the future perfect. This one sounds complicated, but the idea is actually simple. We use it for something that will be completed before a specific time in the future. For example, by Friday, I will have finished the project. The project will be completed before Friday ends. Another example, by next year, she will have graduated from university. The key phrase here is by plus future time. Structure will have plus past participle. 12. Future perfect continuous. And finally, the last one, future perfect continuous. This tense focuses on how long something will have been happening up to a particular point in the future. For example, by next month, I will have been learning English for 2 years. That means I started learning English in the past, I'm continuing now, and by next month the total duration will be 2 years. The structure is will have been plus verbing. It sounds complicated, but the idea is simply duration up to a future point. The easy way to remember all 12. Now let me give you a simple trick. Don't try to memorize 12 completely different tenses. Instead, think about 3 time periods: present, past, future, and inside each one there are 4 patterns: simple, continuous, perfect, perfect, continuous. So you get present times 4, past times 4, future times 4. That gives you 12 tenses, and each pattern has a basic meaning. Simple equals general or completed action. Continuous equals action in progress. Perfect equals connection or completion. Perfect, continuous equals duration. Once you understand these 4 ideas, the 12 tenses become much easier. Quick final test. Okay, let's see if you've got it. Which tense would you use here? I, English every day. The answer is, I study English every day. Present simple. How about, I, English right now. I am studying English right now. Present continuous. And, I English for 2 hours. I have been studying English for 2 hours. Present perfect continuous. See? Once you understand the meaning, the grammar becomes much easier. Ending strong CTA. So Don't try to memorize all 12 tenses in one day. Instead, understand when and why we use each tense. Then practice them with your own real-life sentences. For example, what did you do yesterday? What are you doing today? And what will you do tomorrow? If you can answer those 3 questions in English, you're already practicing 3 important tenses. If this video helped you understand English grammar more clearly, subscribe to English Flow for more simple and practical English lessons. And tell me in the comments, which English tense is the most difficult for you? I'll make the next lesson about the one you choose. Thanks for watching, and keep learning English. See you in the next video.